sexy motherfuckers, welcome back to another episode of the No Chaser podcast. Oh my God, your favorite podcast in the whole wide world.
Your favorite podcast, baby. Your favorite podcast.
I'm Timothy De La Ghetto.
I'm Ricky Shucks.
And I'm Nikki Blades.
What's up, guys?
Nothing. Chilling. Got perfume in my mouth.
Oh my goodness. Perfume brought to you by Scentbird.
How did you get perfume in your mouth, Rick?
Well, Nikki was trying on her Scentbird right now, and I was trying to smell it in the air, and I guess I ate some of it. I don't know, but it's in my mouth.
It was a full act, so we had 3 different scents, and I wanted to know what Rick thought. So, of course, I sprayed it in the air. I said, Rick, tell me what you think of as soon as you smell this.
Mm-hmm. And then my dumb ass started jumping to smell it.
Like a dog.
So we definitely found one for tonight. We found one for tomorrow during the day, and then we found one for a baby shower.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. You know, a lot of girls do this thing where they will spray perfume, spray body spray, and not brush their tongue.
Yeah.
What? Who is doing
or
this?
Or not shower.
Lots of girls. I can't say I've met a lot here recently as we get older, but
Okay.
In the early to mid 20s,
Yes.
there's a lot of that
Okay.
going on.
Back in the day, specifically, I remember I was at a restaurant. Or I was with a friend, and her hair smelled great. And then she got up close to tell me something, and I was like,
Oh, no.
yeah, like she either wasn't flossing, or she didn't brush her tongue, or she had a dead tooth back there that she wasn't aware of. And I was like, yeah, man, you worried about the wrong things right now.
Or they could be the right things, but you just left some things out.
Yeah,
true.
you forgot. Not a lot of people brush their tongues, you know?
Rick, is that really a thing that people don't do?
It is, but I think people brush their tongues. I think a lot of people miss all the rest of the soft tissue in your mouth. That holds shit too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So I learned that a little late. Now I'm like scrubbing the inside of my teeth, up under my tongue, back here, all that shit.
You know,
man.
I think I got one little, like 2 teeth specifically. There's a gap in between 2 of my teeth that just holds more food than the rest of the teeth. Because like every once in a while, no, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say a lot of the time, Chia will be like, babe, your breath stinks right now. And that used to never be me.
Yeah.
But for some reason, man, recently, I don't know, like if I don't floss right after a meal, I got like a tooth gap that just wants to hold on to everything.
Gotta get a water pick.
Yeah. I have
But that exposes your cavities if you got cavities.
Yeah.
You're going through and fine, and then you hit one. It's like, oh.
Man, we all
Yeah, that's fucked.
Talk about water picks.
water pigs and cavities and shit. You got any cavities, Nikki Blaze?
I have been obsessed with my dentist out in San Francisco. So he is.
You love him.
I really do. He's dope. And he's younger too. Shout out to Brian. He used to be a bartender back in the day.
You're in love with
I'm
him.
not in love with him.
He asked about cavities, and you talk about people.
Yes,
you
I'm
love.
talking about
What the
my
fuck?
dentist. I love my dentist because when I went in, they did like a 3D head scan. Have you ever gone to a dentist and they took a whole scan of your head?
Nah.
No, see, you guys.
Because I wasn't in love with my
Oh
dentist.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you should love your dentist so they can love you back. Because now you got a gap between your teeth with food living over there.
You ever wake up from the anesthesia and a titty is out?
No, I've never been. But that's why Tim
like-
is not a dentist.
He's like, yes, but I
But-
took the titty out before.
That's how rumors get started, guys. No.
I remember when I got my wisdom teeth pulled, I had to get them out before my wisdom teeth were actually out because I had braces. So they had to like dig into my gum and extract the teeth because they didn't want the teeth moving around my teeth because I had braces. So I had like these holes in my gums basically, and they gave me a syringe to like rinse the shit out. So like at the end of the day, I would take the syringe, rinse these little holes, gum holes out, and all types of little bits of like rice and chicken would come flying out and shit. Yeah, it was fucked up. Yeah.
Wow, that's the direction you wanted to take today?
And then me and my orthodontist made love.
Sweet love with one titty out.
Sweet love with Tim's one titty out.
Yeah, man. You know, that's what we doing today. You know,
Okay.
we're getting down to the nitty gritty, the raw gums. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of rawest rappers alive in the game, today's guest
And gum-like substances.
yeah, right. Today's guest, I've known this dude for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Arguably, I feel like he's one of the pioneers of this YouTube shit because he's been on this shit for a long time. I say he's like the best rapper, to be honest. Just in terms of bars, metaphors, wordplay, delivery,
breath control,
totally. This man right here, I've known him for a long time, and he's a friend. Make some noise for Wax.
Hey.
Big Wax. What's up, man?
No.
Welcome to the No Chaser podcast.
Good to be here.
Thanks for stopping by, bro.
Oh, 2 waters. I see what kind of guy you are.
Oh, so hydrated over there.
Hey, man, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, bro. Good. What the fuck? I've known you for a long time.
I've known you for a long time.
I feel like
That'd be weird if you only knew me.
Really?
Right.
Have you?
I've been watching you for years now.
if y'all don't know Wax, you should look it up. You should because you probably have a situation in your ears, and you need to rectify that by looking up some Wax music and listening to that.
That would be a good idea.
I've known Wax for a minute. I remember being on YouTube just when I was doing my shit, and then you had it was like a freestyle. It was for a contest. What contest was that?
It was a Vibe magazine contest.
Yeah. And I was just going through like different contestants, and you had said some shit where you were like, "Yeah, I'm nice on everything, like bacon bits."
Right,
and I was like, "Ooh, this guy's nice." And I started looking at all your shit, and then I just was like, "Let me message this dude," because I'd already kind of been doing YouTube shit for a while, and I was like, "Hey man, if you ever need any type of help with the YouTube thing, or if you just want to, do anything, let me know." And I hit you with the message, and then that.
Well, I appreciate that because it definitely did help. It definitely helped. I remember that, and some people were like, "Yo, this dude Tim hit you up." I remember my boy Kevin was like, "Yo, you know who this dude is?" He's
Really?
like one of the biggest dudes on YouTube.
Word.
At that time, that probably meant like you had like
10,000.
a couple people watched you. Yeah.
Something. And speaking of funk, not that anybody in here is funky at all. I just personally, I like to really smell good. You know what I'm saying? In my life, I like to be a smelling good ass person because I judge people when they stink. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? Here's the thing though, right? A lot of deodorants use crazy ingredients and they contain aluminum. You know what I'm saying? And that's not good for you. That's why I like to use native deodorants because here's the thing. Not only is it filled with ingredients found in nature like coconut oil, shea butter, and tapioca starch, but also it contains no aluminum and they do not test on animals, which is great. We all love animals, right? Here is the thing. They got all types of unique flavors. Personally, I like the coconut and vanilla because I like smelling like one of those little macarons. You know what I'm saying? I love macarons. They taste really yummy. They look like little vaginas, but if you turn them on the side, and I just like that. And I like smelling like that. And it's not only for me, it's for women too. Native comes in a wide variety of enticing scents for men and women. Plus, they release new limited edition seasonal scents throughout the year. And they also offer an unscented formula and baking soda free formula for those with sensitivities. And I got a surprise for y'all. For 20% off your purchase at nativedeodorant.com, you can use the code NOCHASER and you will get 20% off your purchase. That's nativedeodorant.com, promo code NOCHASER for 20% off. Okay, you little funky, stinky little McNuggets. And I remember I called you out in a cipher. That was the thing. I was like, yo, I'm gonna call you out in one of these YouTube ciphers. That's just
Right.
popping back in the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man. And here we are.
So
We
thanks,
are here.
Tim.
Fucking like 10 years later and shit.
Yeah.
How you been, man? What you been
For 10 years?
What you been doing?
I've been good for 10 years.
Chilling.
A lot.
Straight.
What's up with y'all? Oh, you know what? I forgot. Well, I'm thinking about it. I brought presents for you guys.
Lighter.
I don't know if you guys smoke or light candles or whatever, but
I like candles.
I do both.
I burn things.
I'm trying to be I'm making like an effort to be more gift bearing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I do somebody's podcast or just visit somebody, like I'm trying to bring a gift.
I like that.
And I thought of it last minute when I was coming here, and I had like a bunch of those at my
we
house.
offer shots.
Sweet.
Do you drink?
I don't.
Okay.
He's sober.
I am.
That's why you're supposed to tell me before we go into.
I'm sorry. You're sober for like the first time in how long?
So that's not what we're supposed to talk about.
No, it's okay. It's actually, I've been sober for like 9 months.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm like an alcoholic or whatever.
But do you still smoke?
I actually quit for like 8 months, and I just like started back up.
Okay,
for like just out of idiocy, you know.
I mean, hey man, do what you do, bro. Are you one of those dudes that feels like, do you feel like you write better bars when you're on some type of substance or something?
I used to be like that, but I think when you drink, it catches up to you. You know what I mean? Like when you're young, it's one thing, but then if you do it over and over and over and over again, and you become dependent on it, then after a while you realize that it's fake. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then especially when you get older and your body is more and more falling apart,
right?
You know, and your brain too. You just become dependent on it, and it just fucks up your whole state of being.
Nah, I feel you. Okay, so what got you to that point where you're like, hey man, maybe I should chill with this drinking shit?
I was a heavy drinker for a long time, you know, since I was a kid, and then like I would try to quit for like 30 days.
Yeah.
You know, people do that. They're like, yeah, I'm not drinking in January. That's a sign. If you start doing that, that's a sign you might have a problem. You know what I'm saying?
I did this shit to prove a point that I didn't have a problem.
That's what we tell ourselves.
Thank you.
That's what we tell ourselves.
No, I did. But,
I won't say nothing else.
but no,
I'm not saying you have a drinking problem.
No.
Besides, like a problem is only when it's, you know, like I got a lot of shit accomplished when I was drunk. You know what I'm saying? But
no, I'm gonna say, here's the thing.
Get a lot more when I don't.
Because we talk about how like people would do that to prove to themselves they don't have a problem. Right? I'm gonna quit for a month. I never felt like I had a problem. I did it just to be like, shut up, Rick. I don't have a problem.
Right.
But you went back.
Because
so it doesn't matter.
No, because I never felt like I had a problem. I was just trying to be like, yo, I'm not an alcoholic, because Rick thinks I'm an alcoholic, or he thought I was an alcoholic. I don't know what his current stance is. But
you drink, Rick?
No, never.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. I mean, you know,
That
you have a different
proves that you're a
perspective. Like
problem.
there's levels to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
No,
I never was like almost dead, or I never like had to drink vodka at 6 a.m. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like there's levels to it. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like you decide. Like everybody has their own rock bottom. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you decide what's too much.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Some people got to lose a fucking limb.
Right.
They decide like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't get so fucked up and live outside.
Was for him to not get there.
Right.
Like, hey, you're doing it a bit much all the time.
and I
relax.
I appreciated that, but also I was like, man, shut up.
Right.
And now he just creates things that he can drink on, like podcasts.
Yeah. I don't even want to drink. You know what I'm saying?
It's just because of me.
It's just-
Listen.
You're a drinker?
I do. I bartend too on the weekends.
Oh, okay.
So I've been in the nightlife industry since I was, pretty much as soon as I turned 21, got my first job doing bottle service 3 days after my 21st birthday. And then it's just been every weekend. But I've hit levels. I've never done the I'm going to quit drinking thing.
Right.
I've never done it because I've always seen when I needed to pull back. But I also know with the environment that I'm in, I know there's certain nights where I go, you know, you've made some pretty poor choices.
Yeah.
But am I realistically going to say like, oh no, I'm going to quit? No, I do enjoy a drink. So I'm never to the point to where I can handle it now.
Right.
I've
It's
always-
like, that's what it's about. It's about whether
Yeah.
you can handle it or not.
I can do a glass of wine and I could be okay.
See, I can't do a glass of anything. I gotta like once I get like the little itch, like,
Yeah.
but where's the
You're like,
rest?
okay,
Where's the rest? Of the
fuck.
fucking- you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I actually I can do like half a beer for lunch, and then I cannot. But if I have 2 beers for lunch, the rest of the day is fucked.
Yeah.
I gotta go to the liquor
Me-
store.
have you ever had a michelada before?
I have.
So that's the one thing that I don't consider alcohol.
I get that.
You know what I mean? But that's bad. But you understand what I'm saying. There's certain drinks that you drink, you're like, it's just the michelada.
Well, there's tomato juice in it, so that's healthy.
It's healthy.
Like
V8. Yeah, it's a V8. Yeah, exactly.
It's a V8 splash, but the
I
splash is Corona.
I don't do mimosas. Mimosas will fuck me up. I don't do mimosas.
Well, because they're sweet or what?
Yeah, it doesn't feel good. I don't like how my body feels off that. But miche.
Miche.
I love me some miches. I'm a miche mommy.
Like a mulata.
I like them a lot.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing to
So
drink.
Nikki's the alcoholic is what we're saying. It's an intervention.
And I'm okay with it.
Well, if you have a friend that drinks, you can always legitimize it for yourself. You know what I mean?
How so? What you mean?
Like I don't want to put his name out there, but one of my best friends, me and him have gone through the same shit. And like if he's drinking, I'll be like, well, I keep wanting to say his name, but if he's drinking, I'll be like, well, he's drinking, so why don't I just drink?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, that's the beauty of it. Rick doesn't drink, so I just be drinking for fun.
By myself.
That's why they were.
Never.
Okay, so
you never were what does that feel like?
Nah.
Not a big experimenter?
No, not really. I saw it from other people, and I only saw the negative first.
Family?
No, like just people in the
from
hood.
the homies.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you have anything in your life where you are experimental, where you're like, what does that feel like?
No. Food.
Food is one. There's food, sex, drugs.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not. No. Food would be the vice.
Yeah.
for
Well,
me.
here's the thing too. I think that because no one's been able to give Rick a good reason to drink. You know what I'm saying? Like no one's ever been able to really give Rick a reason to be like, this is why I drink, and it made sense. You feel me?
Right.
Because everyone talks about how gross liquor is, and like whenever it was like, yeah, I need to drink to loosen up and dance. Like Rick will dance.
I'm loose.
well, if you never had
loose
to,
as fuck.
if you've always been loose, you don't got to loosen.
Right.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
You don't need WD-40 on already non-squeaky door handles.
These are
Right.
facts,
Exactly.
and that was the thing. It was like back in the day. I mean, I didn't need to drink to dance either, and I still don't. But I think at some point, what fucked it up for Rick, not that it's fucked up, but it was like Rick saw us when we were in our like party mode, like we were like blacked out doing reckless shit, and he was like, why would I want to do this? And he was there for when we would wake up with our fucking hangovers and she'd be like, oh God, I hate
like,
this.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Right. You didn't do anything more fun. I watched you not do anything more fun. But I guess they felt like they did. So there's a plus there. Mm-hmm. I hearing that. I don't know.
Well,
I just
it
never
catches up to you
understood
too. It catches up to you. Like you think that it make like when you're younger, it does make you looser or whatever. But then when you're older, it just makes you so like your normal operating mode is like is tight and anxiety filled. You know what I'm saying?
much.
So like
we
and then when you do drink, like you actually become more and more reclusive. You know what I'm saying? You don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's just my own experience.
Nah, that makes
like
sense
what you were
over
saying
time.
about working in the nightlife industry, like that is a social environment. You know what I'm saying? Like, but for me, it's more like I'm more of a recluse. Like I drink by myself, and it becomes very dark and fucking
that was
misery.
That was the one thing growing up, because I grew up around a lot of alcoholics. Almost everybody in my family was an alcoholic, and I watched it. And I remember my mom stopped drinking a long time. I never really watched my mom drink, and her biggest thing is that she's a lightweight. She doesn't like it, and she doesn't like who she turns into. But everybody else in my family was an alcoholic, and I remember being told the one thing you cannot do is drink by yourself. And they beat that into my head, because when I turned 21, I was like, oh, look, I can do this. I can drink. I can do all this shit. They were like, don't drink alone. And I remember the day that I did, and why I don't drink alone in my at my place.
Still don't?
I still don't. I get really fearful of it, because if I go and I'm deciding to say I'm like super sad or depressed or whatever's pushing me to drink by myself, I'm by myself. So if something that happened to me, I'm alone. And that's a scary thought.
Right.
And that's a sobering experience when you really
Literally
take a moment to realize that if something happens to me and I'm by myself, I know that my family is going to be like, oh, maybe Nikki's not hitting us up because she just needs some space. There's going to be a week where I'm probably not going to hear from anybody if something was to happen to me. And that I like have that drilled into my brain as far as why I don't drink by myself.
Yeah, I've never had the urge to like just drink by myself. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I was also never like yeah, man, I'm fucking sad. I need a fucking drink. You know what I'm saying? For me, it was always like the social shit. And when Rick was was calling me an alcoholic, and I was like, I'm not gonna drink. So I told him one summer, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm not gonna drink for 3 months, right? Just to show you I'm not alcoholic. And the hardest part during the whole fucking 3 months, it wasn't like I need a drink. It was in those social situations when a motherfucker was like, come on, bruh, you not gonna have a drink with me? Or like when I was like going to meetings and shit, and like the dude with the money was like, all right, man, let's have what are you gonna drink something? I'm like, nah. He's like, you gonna make me drink alone? Come on. I'm like, shit. Right. I'm doing a thing right now. You know what I'm saying?
Then you gotta explain it.
And I gotta explain. I'm like, my boy thinks I'm alcoholic. I'm trying to prove.
But here's the thing. Why should that be hard? Anything else, if you don't want to do it and someone say, come on, are you gonna be like, all right? No.
I mean, depends.
Once you've already had alcohol, though, you know what it does to you. So for me, the peer pressure, if I don't want to drink, I'm not going to drink.
Yeah,
Same. But that also comes with age. That there's probably been times where I was like, I definitely did shit I wasn't supposed to do or wanted to do because I felt pressure. Yeah. Why? Because I was weak. I mean, break down, I was weak and it wasn't the right choice. But that's why, everybody sitting at a table being older, you can go, I know why I don't do certain things. I know why I did do certain things.
I mean, to be fair, everybody knows when they're drinking that they're doing something that's kind of naughty.
I'm on some fuck it.
So they want you to be naughty with them. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
that's where the peer pressure comes from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because yes, it feels silly drinking by yourself or being the only one at the motherfucking table not drinking.
And that's what I was gonna bring up. So like a lot of people do that. I don't drink by myself. I know people who create environments so they can drink just so they aren't drinking by themselves. Yeah. Like that's not
those are the regulars at bars.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you go to you work, I don't know if you do like
I've seen
Tuesday at 5 type of shit.
Well, you see them.
The saddest people are at happy hour.
I went. I had read a Yelp review, and this bar had really good burgers, and I went, and it was around 1. And let me tell you, the 3 people that were in there. They knew the waitress by her first name, the bartender by his first name. And you could just tell that this was the only place that they felt that they could be themselves. And that was really sad to watch.
And then when you woke up with them, how was that?
That was the one time I didn't drink at a bar. I said, hell no, I am not. I just had flashbacks of hearing my grandpa and like all types of stuff going down.
Look,
I was like, no.
Here's definitely a reason why I drink a lot less when I'm out now, because when I was younger, right, I knew when I was about to like black out, because I black out, you know what I'm saying? I knew I could feel the escalation of the night. I would be like, I remember like it was that shot right there that was my tipping point. You feel me?
Right.
Now, bro, for whatever reason, something changed in my anatomy, right? Where I'll be chilling. I'm like, I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm all right now. I'm good. And then all of a sudden I wake up. And I'm like, what the fuck? What happened? When did that happen?
Right.
When did I stop feeling the progression? You know what I'm saying? And then people tell me, I'm like, shit, we got pizza last night?
Right. The tipping point is more like the tipping point sneaks up on you.
Yeah, like comes out of nowhere.
That's what I was trying to save you from, dog. Don't want to listen to Rick.
Hey. Everybody needs a Rick.
I started like the reason I drank by myself so much is because I drank to calm my brain down. You know what I'm saying? Like, people use the phrase, I got to relax and unwind at the end of a day or whatever. Like that's what I did. Yeah. And then like you drink more and more and more and more. And then it's just like, damn, like then if you're a rapper for a living and you don't have a real fucking job,
right,
and you don't have to wake up at a certain amount of time, you end up waking up late and you don't get shit done. And the next day, the way you feel, you're just like, none of this even matters anyway, man. But then the trick that your brain plays on you is this. When like my relationship with alcohol is like a relationship with a woman. When you have a breakup and then you only remember like the positive times. You're like, yeah, that was so nice when we went on that vacation.
Yeah.
Like you only remember the times that you're like having a Corona by the beach and shit. But like for me, that's really only like 2% of the time that I was drinking was like these awesome times with alcohol. You know what I'm saying? It's like an old relationship like that. It's not real. It's not reality to just think of the good shit.
That's a great way of putting it.
Yeah,
I said it's like it'd be like if the only thing you knew about World War II was the movie A League of Their Own. Like there's no Hitler, no Hiroshima.
Oh man, I wish I was alive in that era.
Just adorable women playing baseball. That's it.
But no,
my dream.
The main and the realest reason, like no jokes and shit, is because I've learned that no matter how much you can say, oh, I'm not gonna drink today or this or that, you can't control when dependency starts.
Yeah.
You can't.
That's fair.
You cannot.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, hey, chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
At least prolong it, motherfucker. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
That's a lot of self-awarness. That's knowing that this possibly could become something. Okay.
Yeah. And I mean,
Rick.
shit. I mean, I feel like shit's just kind of calmed down just because it's kind of like, at this point, it's like, I mean, I still enjoy drinking. I enjoy the taste of this tequila.
It tastes so good, man.
Right.
It tastes so fucking good.
Right. But I'm just...
Get the bottle out of here.
That's why I was like, so we just gonna leave the bottle. I'm not gonna be the one to
No,
pull it
wax
out.
is good.
I have like after like 4 or 5 months, something happens and like the actual physical craving and like all that shit goes away.
Yeah.
Now it's more just like it's just a little boring. Like if I went to where you work, I'd want to leave at like 11.
You know,
Yeah.
you would
You know?
want to leave.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
That's why
Right
I don't
away.
party anymore.
And that's
No.
what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It's like now it's kind of like, especially now that I'm married and shit. It's like, for what? What am I getting drunk for?
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what is what is this gonna do for me?
You know,
what I'm saying?
I'm in the industry and I could literally pinpoint where you're from, how old you are, and what you're going through based off of what you drink.
Wow.
It's crazy. 'Cause
Give me an example.
Dr.
okay,
Pepper.
so
You're 4 and you're at Chuck E. Cheese.
you're the DD and you already have one DUI and you're not allowed to go out anymore after
Or
that.
you're Rick.
You're right. You're the DD. A lot of the time, so like an AMF, if anybody orders something brightly colored, that means you're young.
Right.
That's normally
That's
I want to
facts.
get fucked
That's the
up.
adios motherfucker.
Yes. Something bright blue and a little bit of everything. Then you have the advanced version, which is a Long
The
Island.
AAMF.
That's that extra shot that you
Right.
ask for, make it super heavy, which is funny when they ask that. But then you get like a Long Island, which is the same thing, but it's not blue. So that's like the more adults. You get anybody that wants something on the rocks, they're going to sip it. They're probably a little bit older, more sophisticated, might have something to do. But if anybody's like, I want fucking shots, that's the party.
Yeah,
they're
you already
blacking
know.
out.
You know what they're trying
good
to
go.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if somebody
The
goes,
cheating girlfriend.
they go like this, I just want something sweet. It's like, you want to get fucked up, but you don't want anybody knowing.
And you want an excuse.
You want an excuse. Oh my God, I didn't even notice. It just was like so sweet.
They must have put something in
Oh
there.
my God, I didn't know I was
They
gonna
must have
end
put
up,
something in those 10 drinks
you know what
I
I'm
had.
saying? I
don't
didn't know I was gonna dance on the table like that.
Well,
Tiffany.
in all your travels, bro, because I know you've been touring a lot throughout these years of just rapping and hustling and shit. Do you ever deal with here's what always fucked me up in terms of like partying and stuff? Like I feel like in the smaller cities, right? Like let's say you're in like, you're doing a show.
I've done the
like,
smallest of them.
Yes. So you're in like Oshkosh, Wisconsin, right? It's always the motherfuckers in Oshkosh that want to be like, we got to show you how we do it in Oshkosh,
Oh my
bro.
God, dude.
So they are trying so hard to show you that they can party with the best of them. You know,
I'll tell you, I could talk about that all day. The local hip hop promoters that put these shows together in places like Aberdeen, South Dakota, and shit like that. Hey, those promoters are almost always also the local Coke dealer, and they're kind of just trying to get a bunch of people in one place that might buy Coke.
Yeah.
First of all,
Pretty much.
Second of all, they're always also the opening act. You know what I'm saying? So they're really trying to get a bunch of people in there to buy Coke and watch them do their shit. Sometimes, like I've been to shows, I'll pull up and I'll be like, "What's up with sound check?" And they're like, "We already sound checked." I'm like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah." And they'll be like, "Yeah, we sound great."
Oh God.
We're like, well, what about our sound check though? And they always say that shit about like they're gonna show you. For me, it's always they got the best weed in whatever town they're from.
Right.
And a lot of times, like. It's changing. Recently, everybody kind of has good weed, but like 10 years ago, like they don't have weed as good as it is here.
Right,
it's not
right,
even
right.
a fucking. It's not even a fucking contest.
Yeah.
They don't have weed as good as Los Angeles in South Carolina or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
In what was the city?
I said Aberdeen, South Dakota.
Aberdeen.
Shout out to Slackers is the name of the venue that I played there. Slackers in Aberdeen, South Dakota. I'll always remember that because that's like why I'm trying to do a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That sounds mean.
Yeah.
That sounds mean.
A little fucked up.
That sounds mean. No offense to anybody.
No offense
Luckily, Aberdeen doesn't have internet access, so you're good.
No offense to anybody
Your
there.
weed
I think I had fucking 3 fans there anyway. Most of the people there were just like old dudes like you're talking about, the 3 o'clock at the bar, and they're like, "There's a rapper tonight."
What is this?
So you ever done one of these shows where you're like, where just no one showed up, and you're like, do you at that point do you still perform, or do you go, nah, ain't nobody here?
I used to be in a band for a long time before I moved out here up on the East Coast.
Okay.
And we were like a 6-piece band. We had a horn section and shit. And we did a show. We used to do like the whole night. We do like an hour and a half, then take a break, then do another hour and a half. We're like a bar band.
Okay.
And we definitely did a show in Charlottesville, Virginia, where not one person walked in the whole time.
Yeah.
Not one person. And like the second set, we're just like, hey, what? Like it was like practice. It was like practice in the garage.
And you still did it?
Yeah.
Man, shit. You better
We were getting
than me.
paid like $50 between 6 people anyway.
They're like, you can get free food.
I feel like there was definitely one time. Where were we at, man?
Orlando.
So first I got booked for it was like a Cambodian festival or some shit in Orlando, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Well, they're already splitting up
okay.
the Asian community by just making it that specific. That's
It
the
was
first
a big
problem.
festival, bro.
Right.
It was huge.
So I got booked for this shit, and I think I performed. So this was back when like I used to have Rick like hype man me, you know what I'm saying? So I was at like I think I performed at the festival.
No, you didn't.
I didn't.
No.
I didn't even do
You
one
want me
song.
to tell the story?
Yeah, please.
Yes. Okay, so we were set to perform at the festival. We get there and it was mad traditional. Like all these beautiful dresses and shit. And then this motherfucker and this motherfucker.
Right.
So we was just mad uncomfortable. Like we feel disrespectful, like cussing and shit. Like everything seemed really nice. The people we were with they were hood, they were urban or whatever, but the festival itself was nice. So he was like, maybe at the after party. So they decided to do it at the after party. And then we get there and it was a decent amount of people, but not really a decent amount of people.
Right.
It was cute, but there was no stage. They wanted to just stand in the middle of everybody and perform. And Tim was like,
No mic or nothing?
I think there was a mic. I'm not sure, but it wasn't a venue set up for performing. It was like this. It was like a room. They wanted us to just rap at you while I'm looking at you.
And it wasn't lit. I feel like everyone that was there was just sitting, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, nah, man. I don't want to. Nah, we good, bro.
So it was just like party with them.
Did you say that? That was what you did?
Essentially, because I think they was like, you want to perform? I'm like, probably not, man. Because I feel like everyone that was there, we came in with. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much.
But speaking of that town, let me tell you, when we went to the club, let me tell you.
Oh, wait. Dude, some of them might still be watching.
It's okay. We're not naming names. We're not saying nothing crazy. Yeah. So we're going to the club. And there was a little hood, little loud. There was Laos, right?
I do believe.
Is it Lao or Laotian? What's the adjective?
Laotian?
It's Laotian.
I've heard both.
I've heard both too. So anyways, this particular lady, she was dating this doughboy, this black dude. He was tall, and she was walking with a big ass purse, right? So we had to park the car and walk a couple blocks to the actual club we were going to. So she's walking, and we just hear her say, "Damn, we walking all this way. I got all these guns in my purse. It's heavy." Me and Rick turn to each other. Guns? Multiple? Why is that necessary? Where are we going?
Because so I forget what it's called. There's like this strip in Orlando. It's just like a bunch of bars and shit.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And they don't pat down. You just walk up in there.
Not back then anyway.
Yeah, like they might check your ID or whatever, but there was no patting down.
They're different down there, man.
Yeah.
Florida people are different, bro.
Yeah. So they had to be prepared. And the dude gives it to the girl because they know if the police come around, they gonna check on the dude. Yeah. So they gave it to the girl. I was like, oh shit, we in some real shit right now.
Even like southern country, like this is the first time I was exposed to like some like southern Asians. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I remember being in a sushi spot. And I heard someone behind me just saying, he was like, "Oh, no, shawty, I'm good. I don't even need all that, shawty. We good." I turned around, it was an Asian dude. I was like, "Oh, I've never seen this before." You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we got hood Asians in Cali, but like not like sounding like T.I. Asians.
Right,
That was interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Where you from originally?
I'm from Maryland.
Maryland.
Like a suburb of Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I know where Maryland is.
Not everybody does. People from California are weird with geography because that California's so big.
Yeah.
I tell people I'm from Maryland. They're like, yeah, Boston, cool. I don't know what it is, but that's happened to me 40 times. 40 times I've said I'm from Maryland. They said Boston.
It sounds Boston-y.
Yeah. But like Michigan, Maryland, Massachusetts, Montana, they're like, I don't know. If I drive 10 hours, I'm still in California.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
What is Maryland known for? Crab cakes?
Crabs.
Yeah,
that's
crab
it.
Cakes. Word.
What else is Maryland known for? Crabs. I don't know, man. They slept on a little bit.
And then when did you come out?
The Wire.
The Wire?
Baltimore.
It was Baltimore. That's right.
Baltimore.
Hey, let me tell you, man. Baltimore is an interesting city, bro.
It is.
Because
it is.
I've met two people from Baltimore that were both on Wild 'N Out, right? One person had never heard of brisket, and the other person had never heard of turkey sausage. So I remember I was getting some, we went to TGI Fridays, a bunch of us after shooting Wild 'N Out. And then, one of my boys was eating some brisket tacos, and the comedian, the girl, she was like, he's eating some crazy shit. And I was like, "What are you eating?" He's like, "Tim, brisket tacos." I was like, "You never had brisket?" and he was like, "Tim, don't get me started. I've been trying to tell her for the past like half an hour or whatever." And I'm like, "How have you never heard of brisket?" And then the other dude on Wild 'N Out, we were looking at these breakfast sandwiches, and I was like, "What they got?" He was like, "I don't know, but that shit's trash." I was like, "What?" He's like, "That shit right there." I was like, "Turkey sausage? What do you mean?" It was because of turkey sausage burrito. He was like, "I don't know what that is, but it's trash." I was like, "You don't know what turkey sausage is?" He was like, "Yeah, I've never heard of it before." I'm like, "It's sausage made out of turkey. What do you mean?"
It's pretty self-explanatory.
It's in the name. Yeah.
So
It's not.
what is it? Tell me, what is it about Baltimore, Maryland, where they don't know about turkey sausage, bro?
I don't know what turkey sausage seems pretty self-explanatory. I don't know I can't explain that. I think turkey sausage will be something people from Maryland do know, but I'm from like a smaller town in Maryland, and I can tell you that my parents have never had sushi and will die having never had sushi.
Right.
I didn't know what pho was until I moved to California.
Yeah.
LA is a fucking food city. Like y'all got everything, and it's like where and when I'm from, because I'm older. But if you had polled my high school graduating class of 400 people graduated at the same time, if you had done a poll, have you ever had sushi before? I bet you 1% of them would say yes.
Yeah.
But
1%. No, but like that sushi and like doing yoga, like shit like that, like is like, I mean, you
But
know,
that's
people are
understandable.
borderline not even borderline. People are homophobic too.
Okay.
So that
But
like
also-
anything like that would be, in a like an old school homophobic way would be considered gay.
Like, I get that,
Like
but at the
it's
same time,
it's a different thing.
But it's on the coast though. Why is there no sushi out there? Like, I don't get it.
I think some of it has to do with the fact
Lack
that
of
when
Japanese.
it has to do with when I'm from.
Okay.
Like before the internet and before the Food Network,
Right.
people didn't have the information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like people ate burgers and drank soda.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't know about shit.
Yeah.
It's different now. The information is all out there. Like that's why, like if you go to my hometown now, there's like gastropubs and shit.
Yeah.
Whereas before I feel like shit like TGI Fridays is actually going downhill. Even people in middle America think that shit is lame now, you know?
Makes sense. But I don't think it's so much of where, because even here at a certain time, like sushi, like raw. You want me to eat something raw?
Yeah.
That was everywhere, you know. So it took a minute for certain
You
things
wouldn't
to catch on.
you wouldn't be able to get my dad to eat raw sushi with a fucking gun to his head.
I mean, I get it. I mean,
gun to that's not true. My dad's changing actually. My parents are changing. Yeah.
how so? What made that happen?
I got my mom a gift certificate to get a massage.
Okay.
About a couple years ago, and then like I was like, "Did you get it?" She was like, "Michael, we don't do stuff like that. We don't." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And I think it means that she got married when she was 20. She's been married for like 40 some years. And you're not supposed to touch you like that. Nobody's supposed to touch your body, your fucking naked body like that. But I know that my parents are going on a vacation. They're getting a couples massage.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So I think they're growing.
What if for them they're like, all right, we're gonna try this swinger thing out?
That'd be wild.
It's just really extreme, Tim.
That's what they think the massage.
All right, so what we're gonna do now?
You never know, man. My parents have been married for 50 years and they still hold each other's hands. I think your parents are they're kind of lovely. No, they seem like it. I don't know. Together. They seem like they're together.
They're together.
Just being together is a lot.
My parents are still together, which I definitely feel like is a testament to just. I was gonna say love, but I feel like it's more like just
they're just
commitment. Right. Like we're doing this shit, man.
That's how mine are.
My parents definitely don't like hold hands. Nah. They
hold contempt.
Do they hold contempt?
They live together.
Right.
No.
But do they like, because I know other people, their parents are still together and they don't sleep in the same room. They don't ever associate with each other. They watch different TVs and shit.
Nah, my parents still kick it.
My parents don't sleep in the same room.
Nah?
Right.
Nah. My dad snores. My mom was no.
Lay on your stomach.
That's more of a practical.
Come on, my dad's too big.
Yeah, no, my parents also, it's same room, but like separate beds because of just how like fidgety and also snority they are. But also like, I'm also a snory ass dude, you know what I'm saying? And it sucks because sometimes I just be wanting to sleep on my back, but I'm like, fuck, I know my snore's about to go so hard when I'm on my back, you know? So I'm like, I flip over on my stomach, and then I wake up. Yeah, I wake up and I'm like, did I snore last night? She's like, always. I'm like, ugh, I tried. I tried to sleep on my stomach.
Oh, sleeping on your stomach makes you not snore?
It helps.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I can't sleep on my back. I sleep on my side.
Yeah.
But sleep on my back, I just feel like, I don't know.
Just weird.
Vulnerable?
Vulnerable.
Somebody attack me from the front.
That makes sense.
I don't know.
Yeah, but like they say side sleeping is best for you. Just period.
I've heard the
But you gotta keep
that.
a pillow in between your legs so that your knees don't do this and pulls out your
what? For
hip
real?
bone. Yeah.
Damn.
I just be trying to watch all type of shit that's gonna help me stop snoring.
Right.
His was weird.
I heard that it was bad for your back. I guess you gotta do the pillow thing.
Pillow, bro. Just cuddle, man. Just cuddle.
But you also gotta get it like a decent mattress so that your shit's not all bent up.
His was weird.
I got a new one recently.
What?
A new mattress. Step my game up.
Oh, sometimes when I sleep on my back, I put my face under the pillow. Mm-hmm. I don't sleep on the pillow. I just get my whole head under the pillow.
For your neck?
Nah, just cuz.
Well, that would be the ultimate snore stopper then. If you're on your back and you got a muffle. You know?
Would think. But nah. I think I got it from my mom, bro, because my mom's snores are hardcore. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally like she's screaming.
Yeah.
But in snore form. Just
strengthen your jowls. What? Apparently, so when we're laying on our back, everything's dropping. Yeah. So it's like you're pinching shit down here. So that's where that is this vibration type shit. So when you're like this, it's more open. That's why it's sleeping on your stomach. So
what
strengthen your shit so that it doesn't just fall.
Like strengthen them when I'm awake?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Go on YouTube. They have jaw exercises you can do. You're going to look stupid as fuck, but...
Sugar, don't be in traffic. Shit. Hey, well, speaking
that made me like think about my jaw. Right? I saw you do it too.
I was like, whew. Now I'm going.
It's stiff.
Yeah. Probably definitely snore. I drool. It's bad.
Are you drooler?
I sleep on my stomach. I sleep on my stomach with my head under the pillows. So I was told, so you're supposed to sleep on your back, not for snoring, but for like your skin.
I've heard that.
Yeah. And I've tried to do the whole like make a barrier around so that I could fall asleep on my back, and it just doesn't work. I end up on my stomach. I try to side sleep, but I still end up on my stomach.
Does it hurt your titties when you sleep on your stomach? I've always wondered that. Oh, okay.
I'm good.
No, that'd be cool. Rick
and I agree. Like, it's not a problem.
So, you working on some new music, bro? You always working on music.
Yeah,
man.
I actually I'm putting out a new single every Friday this summer.
Word?
Wait, whoa.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and it's 2 songs. I'm doing like the old school way where a single has an A side and a B side.
Damn.
So every Friday, starting last Friday, anybody watching this, is that where the camera's at? Yeah, where the cameras literally are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go to search Wax on Spotify.
Yeah.
I just put out a new single called Push On. The B side is Rare.
Oh, he sent it to me. It's dope.
Thanks, man.
I've always been, I mean, you know, like I said, man, I hit you up because I fucked with the bars so much, you know what I'm saying? And even like when you do the weird shit I liked, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I do a lot of weird shit.
You do a lot of weird shit, like the fucking, like he has a song called Dog Dance off the like, old Wax and Herbal Tea.
Yeah, that's old.
I know, it's super old, and super fucking weird, but it was
I do a lot of weird shit.
It was always weird, and I always like, I respected you for that because you always like were just mad experimental with it, you know what I'm saying?
The shit I'm doing now is like that too. The shit like people are gonna be like, some people that like the bar shit are gonna have some shit for them, and then I got a couple of things that are a little off the wall. I got a couple of things that are like I got like a soft lullaby kind of thing. I got a country sounding thing. I got a couple like old school rap sounding thing. I got a reggae kind of thing. Like I just like to, you know, that's probably why I haven't like super blown up. I just do whatever.
Well, I was just gonna say you were signed to Def Jam at one point.
I
right?
was. Yeah.
How was that experience for you?
It was cool. It was cool.
Wow, do you need some
We
water?
know that.
Is that okay? Oh.
No, it was cool. It was cool. It was a learning experience.
Yeah. So what would you say as a dude rapping in this day and age? What would be the pros and cons of being signed to a major label like that?
I think the pros is that they give you access to certain things. Like I know they don't say this, but I know through people I know that like Spotify playlists, the top ones are kind of controlled by like the big record labels and people in there. Not to mention obviously the radio. Like those people give you access to things like that. Not to mention if you want to shoot $100,000 music video, like you can't. I mean, people do it themselves. People raise the money. You know what I'm saying? But if you're an artist with big potential, you know, that's kind of like what you would do to get, if you want to be Taylor Swift or whatever the fuck you want to do. I mean, I know that's not a rapper.
Would you want to be Taylor Swift? If they were like, if someone was like, yo, we're going to make you Taylor Swift, bro.
I with the music that I have now, I would like do a major label deal if they were like, I like that song. If they're like, I like that you got. Let me take that to the next level. I would not be like, and I know that they wouldn't even do, I know for a fact that they wouldn't like be like, hey, I like you as an artist. Let's fucking scientific lab experiment you with a bunch of different producers and see what we can come up with. I'd rather than be like, I like your song. Let me blow it up. Like okay. That. Hell yeah. So I would definitely do that. I've always like, still hasn't happened yet. My goal is to have a song that's like in the list on karaoke machines. You know what I'm saying? Whether I don't even have to be singing it. I just want to write it. You know,
I feel you.
So
going off the popularity of like Lil Nas X, what if someone approached you and they were like, yo, we want to make a whole country rap hip hop album, Wax? Would you be down to do it?
I got a country song on my shit coming up. Yeah, in a couple weeks. Hopefully it'll come out 4th of July. I got a country song. Tight. I like country music.
I mean, I don't
generally like it's like anything else, man. There's good ones and bad ones, you know?
I remember when you put out the album with Larry and Tina on it, and we were watching him perform at a club at a little spot in LA. Remember this? And there was that drunk ass girl in the back. Like she was being so loud. You probably don't remember this. You've done so many shows, you know what I'm saying?
I dealt with a lot of loud drunk people.
Yeah, and you were singing Larry and Tina's song, and it's all about this like girl that like, you know, she's just kind of going through the whole like Hollywood struggle, basically, you know what I'm saying? Like gets hooked on drugs and is going, you know, trying to make it in the business and all the shit that fucks up, right? And you got a line that's like, yeah, something young cum guzzler, right?
Right.
And then this drunk ass girl in the back who kept talking over your shit, like, but like you said that line, and she was like, oh my God, young cum guzzler. I was like, yo, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to listen to the homie. So have you ever had like, what's like a crazy ass like drunken tour, crazy fan experience that you've ever had? Anything?
I mean, I've had some wild shit happen, but I was just telling somebody this other day that there's more of a consistent thing that happens that's weird is, you know, because by the time I'm done playing, a lot of people are really drunk, and my music oftentimes is like party music and drinking music. The venues love me because the bar tabs are high.
Right. I was just drinking. Yeah,
people be drinking. So with people that are tall, with like dudes that are tall, that are big fans, because I do a meet and greet after every show at like the merch table, and I take pictures with people, and dudes that are real tall and real drunk and real sweaty. They do the shit where they're like, come on.
Armpit, all that tank tops on.
And it just feels like your head is like, they just feel
in their armpit.
This heat, this radiating wet heat, humidity into your face. Not to mention like, that's one of the reasons people always get sick on tour. It's because you're constantly dealing with other people's germs.
All the germs. Oh, I always.
But that's like the tough thing. And like when you're dealing with a dude that's tall and drunk and has his fucking arm around you, like you can't really get away that easily.
Yeah.
Especially because he's a fan, man. He's like, I love you, bro. Like I just want to take a fucking picture. Let me get another one. Do it sideways. You know.
Oh my god. I had an incident.
And then they're like, dude, they want to do silly faces and they fucking.
they want to get all the proper angles, man. They love you.
I feel like I'm being an asshole, man.
You are.
Yeah.
Wow.
I appreciate that stuff.
Wow.
Damn.
I feel like I'm being unappreciative.
I had an incident one time. I was shooting out in Des Moines, right? And I was shooting my food show with David So, and we were out there, and
he's funny as shit.
He's a funny dude. He's a funny dude. Fuck that guy. And we were at a bar, just waiting for a table at a restaurant, and we went to a little like tiny bar, and you could tell it was one of those bars that like like on some Cheers shit. It was nothing but regulars. Everybody knew everybody in there. You know what I'm saying? And we walk in, and as soon as I walk in, there was a group, like a drunk group, but a girl in the group recognized me. She was like looking at me. She's like, oh my God, right? So she came over, she gave me a hug. And she was like, can I take a picture? I'm like, of course. She was telling me she'd been watching for a long time. I'm like, cool, of course. Yeah, let's take a picture. So we take a picture. And I'm like, cool, all right. So then I go and I'm drinking with David and the producer, homegirl that was on the shoot with us. And then I kind of notice like, he's like, a big, tall, long-haired dude is like he starts kind of arguing with this chick. And I realized, oh, that's her dude. And I feel like he didn't know who I was, and he just saw her come up to me to like hugging me and shit. And he was, first of all, he was fucked up. So he was feeling like a way about it. You know what I'm saying? So, and then they're like, I forget how we got to this point, but then we're taking like a group picture, right? And the whole group comes up to me and David. We're taking a picture, and I just feel someone's whole hand grab my head. So I'm like this in the picture. Because I'm like, yo, what the fuck, right? So I turn around like, hey, yeah, right? We take another picture, and this dude is like, he's grabbing me now. He's like this is me, right? He's like, hey man, you're little, man.
Oh.
He's like, you're so little. But I know this dude, like, it's like he was feeling salty about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He still didn't know who I was, but he's grabbing me and shit. So and then,
well, of course, that's why he started calling you little.
Yeah, exactly, right. So there was another dude in the group. Like older black dude came up to me and David's like, hey man, I'm sorry about that guy. He's drunk, his girl, like, and he told me, he's like, his girl recognized you. He got jealous, whatever, blah, blah. Don't worry about them, blah, 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 right? So, and then, they're still kind of arguing in the corner. So me and David are talking, and all of a sudden, we see this dude fucking mush his girl's face and like shove her.
Whoa.
And we was like, oh shit, what's going on over there? You know what I'm saying? So now I'm looking like, oh shit. Is this about to be a fucking bar brawl? So whenever that shit happens, I'm like, I'm little. So I'm looking like, do I need to hit somebody with a bar stool? I'm looking at bottles and shit. I'm like, I gotta fight dirty if I'm trying to survive. David starts putting on he starts taking off his fucking gloves because he's been practicing, whatever the fuck for the past 6 months. He thinks he can fight and shit now. So then but then luckily they calmed him down. We was like, all right, man, fuck this shit. Let's get out of here, eat this Peruvian food. But at the end of the day, drunk people are crazy.
Damn. you ever roll with security?
Nah, I ain't no bitch.
I mean, people are like, that's not your fault. What happened?
Nah.
That's just some shit that happens that has nothing to do with you, and it's just your fame. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I never really feel like it was that. I never feel like I needed no like security.
It's gonna have to be an incident happen that makes you change your mind.
Well, I got robbed and stabbed, so I might start getting security now.
I don't need it. I'm not that popping yet. We'll see in a couple of years.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see when they're like.
We'll see.
Wax sounds like he's plotting to rob you later.
So no security.
Never security. Yeah.
Okay,
a couple years.
No security.
So, and Rick don't drink, right? Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay, we see what's going on.
Okay,
here.
sleep on your back with a pillow on? Okay, can't see. Okay, cool.
I was like, I'm a different story.
When do you drink a lot? When is this that you black out?
He says he forgot that point. Okay. We got to get Rick away from everything.
People used to think Rick was my security guard sometimes because, like I said, he doesn't drink and he would just.
And I'm always in a black t-shirt.
Yeah.
Right. That is like a security outfit.
It's
right
all
there.
black everything.
I'm like, do y'all not notice I'm only bigger than him?
Right.
Everybody else is taller than me, motherfucker. Like, I'm not security.
I used to have a manager that was like a tall black dude, real handsome, and always dressed kind of. And like everywhere we went to meetings, they'd think I was his manager and he was the artist. Every time we went, I was just I need to dress more stylishly, don't I?
When did you realize that you just had a talent for rapping and bars and shit? Because you got a twin brother, and both of y'all can like rap like good.
We started doing music at a young age, because like we watched MTV when we were kids, and we started playing. I play guitar and he plays drums, and I guess back then like MTV showed music videos, and you could be just as into Nirvana as you were NWA or whatever it was.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because it was a whole top 10 countdown. It was mad like eclectic and shit. Yeah.
And like, I don't know, I was real into skateboarding too. Classic like 90s suburban kid, like skateboarding and rap. You know what I mean? And then, just got into it.
Who's better, you or your brother?
I mean, he's probably better, like, he's like a natural percussion player, so he's probably better at the flow aspect of it, but I think that I just probably just out of sheer amount of time I spent doing it, probably have him on like songwriting and shit like that.
Okay.
Just because of hours worked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, who's better looking, you or your twin brother?
I would say him. For sure. Yeah, I would say
y'all
him.
look just alike. He just got hair. That's all.
Yeah, that does it. I don't know. You'd have to ask a girl that, I suppose.
Ask the lady. Speaking of ladies, you ever had any like groupies? Because I know you got like more of I mean, your vibe is more like underground rap shit. You know
My fans are more male.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was like the nice way of saying that.
Girls don't really.
Most girls at my show heard of me through their boyfriend and are there with their boyfriend, and their boyfriend is more of a fan. But I have female fans, sure.
Shit, you're crazy, dude.
I have female fans.
Why did you get banned from Canada?
I mean, that's like it's a long story. I don't even understand the story. You know what I mean? Yeah. I had a show in Toronto. I'll try to make this long story relatively short. I had a show in Toronto. It was kind of, I don't know.
Should have asked this in the beginning of the interview.
now it's almost like it was so long ago. I barely remember it. But the main gist of the story was I had gotten a DUI.
Yeah.
And when I you know that when you go to Canada or any other country as an artist, until you establish yourself, you don't really tell them you're going there for a show,
right?
Because you want to make a little bit of money, and technically you have to fill out some fucking forms, some tax forms to work. Visas, you need a work visa, and I didn't have a work visa. And when I got up to the customs line, what I didn't have was a story in my head for why I was going to Canada.
Yeah.
I also had a guitar and a backpack full of my own compact disc.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I got there to the front of the line, and the customs lady was like, "Why are you coming here?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm here to see a girl." The girl, and she's like, "Who's the girl?" I was like, "I never met her before. I met her on Facebook." And she was like, and she goes, like, I guess at that time that was more weird.
Yeah.
10 years ago to meet somebody online and then go meet them was weirder than it is now. But if you've ever been to Canada, like they send most people through the regular line, but then they send some people to the suspicious line.
Yeah. Secondary.
And when you're in the suspicious line, they look your shit up. And they found out that I had a DUI on my record.
Damn.
And you're not technically allowed to go into Canada for 10 years after you get a DUI. And I was doing that. But it was the last flight of the night. And I told the lady, I was like, look, there's somebody here picking me up. The promoters of the show are outside in their car waiting to pick me up. And the next flight wasn't for like till the next morning, you know? So I signed a thing that was like, I will be back at the airport tomorrow morning to leave on the first flight out to Chicago. That was the first flight I was going to get on. And, I met up with these promoter dudes. And, Remember the story about local promoters I told you?
Yeah.
And these dudes were cool, you know what I'm saying? But we went immediately to the bar and started drinking, and they were all just like, bro, it's Canada. It's Canada. Nobody gives a fuck. It's Canada. Just stay. Just do the show. So I stayed for a couple of days, and like it was almost like I was like a fugitive. Like they had those guys' numbers and were calling them, and they found their parents' numbers and were calling them. And then a couple of days later, I got to the airport, and they fucking found out who I was, and they took me to this little room, and fucking some guy started yelling at me, some Canadian dude, and started, what the fuck is this all about? And, you know, fucking, and he was like, you're never coming back to Canada again. I'm on like the no Canada.
You're banned
list.
Forever?
That's what they said.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I could like probably get a lawyer and stuff like that, and I should have done that a while ago, because I lose a lot of money by not being on a tour up there. Like there's been several tours where like I'll stay at a hotel in Buffalo for a few days while they go and fucking go to Montreal and Toronto and shit, you know.
Lesson learned.
And it was like, you know, at the time it was kind of one of those things. It's like what we were talking about earlier with alcohol, doing things that you regret. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
I don't think I think if our discussion would not have been at the bar, maybe things would have turned out differently. You know what I'm saying? But
the bar saying fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it was the word, you know, and that they made me think that like Canada, they don't give a fuck about anything up here. It's not even a real country with a military.
Canada gives a fuck.
They do. It was lies. It was lies,
Bruh.
So I haven't been there. I haven't been there since 2009.
That sucks. I got hassled in Canada by this lady. Her name was Law. She took that shit serious. Like her
Law was her name?
Her last name. Like her badge said Law. I was like, oh, okay.
Sheriff Law.
So I put my shit through the belt or whatever, and she's like, okay, what are you taking from my country? I was like, nothing. What are you taking from my country? I was like, I'm not taking anything from your country. What are you taking from my country? So I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not taking anything. Go over there. I'm like, what the fuck, right? So she sends me to this other place. This dude comes. He's going through my shit, and he pulls out a fucking candy bar. My little brother wanted a candy bar, brought him back a candy bar. He brings it to the lady, and she's like, I'm going to ask you again. What are you taking? I was like, chocolate? Oh wow. She was so pissed. She was like, thank you. And that was it. Wow. I was like, damn. Okay, Canada, you're nice on the inside, huh?
Wow. But it's not like she was like, you can't bring it.
No, I just had to declare it, I guess. There's a fucking candy bar.
Yeah, wow. My first time there, same shit as you. I didn't know I was supposed to be so prepared for this border crossing, you know what I'm saying? And the lady that booked me for the show was like, just say you're there to hang out with me, you know? And the lady's name was Sarah. I'm like, cool. So I get there. And have I told this story on the show before?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. So I get to the border, and the guy's like, okay, what are you here for? I'm like, oh, just hanging out with my friend Sarah. He's like, okay, how do you know Sarah? I was like, oh, shit. So I started panicking in my head, right? I'm like, yeah, no, I've never actually met her before. So he said, oh, okay, you never actually met this person. I'm like, yeah, you know, we're dating. We're kind of talking on Facebook. We're going to meet up for the first time, right? He's like, oh, okay. Okay, we'll just, step aside. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, shit. So he sends me to secondary. And I'm like, and in my head now, I'm like, okay. I already told them I never met this girl before, but I'm about to meet up with her. I got to stick with this lie so they know I'm not lying, right? So then I get to secondary, and dude's like, he calls a lady behind him, and he's like, do people do this? Like, I don't know, I'm old. She's like, oh yeah, people do that all the time. It's like, it's the internet, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, cool. But same shit as you, I think they looked me up. So, because then I was sitting there, and then literally she looks at me and she goes, oh, so he's a liar then. I was like, oh, fuck. Maybe she's not talking about me. So he calls me up and he's like, Tim, let me ask you something. What are you going to be doing here tomorrow night? What are you going to be doing? I'm like, just hanging out with wherever my friend takes me. And he's like, no. What are you going to be doing tomorrow night? Where are you going to be? I'm like, at a restaurant? And then the girl, the one that called me a liar, goes off. And she's like, you're making yourself look stupid right now. We know who you are. I was like, holy fuck.
Damn.
So, and oh yeah, I forgot to say this. When he called me up to the front, he said, Timothy. He's like, Timothy, come up here. And like, my birth name is Tim. So that should have been my first hint that like they Googled my shit. You know what I'm saying? So send me the secondary. Send me the waiting room. In my head, I'm like, what happens now? Am I gonna get deported, arrested? Am I going to jail? Like what happens right now? You know what I'm saying? So he calls me back and he's stamping my shit. He's like, you didn't have to lie. It wasn't in a club or a bar, so you don't really need a blah blah blah. I was like, oh shit.
Well, it was like some type of event that
it was
name
at
was on.
It was at a car show.
Yeah.
So I guess there was like something where it's like, if there's no alcohol being served, I don't necessarily need some type of visa. I don't know, man. But ever since then, I don't lie. I'm like, hey man, I'm performing. But I say I'm not.
Not getting paid or something.
Not getting paid.
They
That's
had
what's
him
nice.
for
That's
3
what's
hours.
Damn.
3
What?
hours.
For the candy bar?
No, you.
I was there for 3 hours? Oh, yeah, because you were waiting for me.
Yeah, we were waiting for it. I was like, oh, shit. You shouldn't have went through by yourself. That was your fault.
That's like the beauty. My name is Michael Jones.
Mike Jones.
You can't Google that shit and find anything. Yeah. That's it. Like if you got a backpack full of your own CD, you know what I'm saying? They can find that.
Speaking of his CDs, Wax has a new song out. Y'all should go download that. What's it called again?
Push On is the name of the song.
You got anything else you want to plug or promote, bro?
Yeah, I'm coming out with a song every Friday. I'm dropping 2 songs every Friday this summer. That's summer 2019. In case you're watching this like later.
Make sure y'all listen to Wax. Wax got the most bars of anybody I ever seen or heard, or even not just because he's my friend, but just in general in real life. He's like,
that means a lot coming from you too. I said that weirdly, but I meant that. That was sort of.
It sounded sarcastic?
It sounded fake, but it was supposed to be sincere. Yeah.
Well, thanks, bro. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Hope
man.
you had a good time.
Thank you guys so much. It was nice, lovely to talk to you guys.
All right, y'all. Hope you enjoyed.
Speak to you as well. It was great.
As
Very
always,
lovely chat.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Have a great night. Wear a condom. Thanks for listening to the No Chaser podcast. I'm Timothy De La Ghetto.
I'm Ricky Shucks.
And I'm Nikki Blades.
Bye.
Bye.